Let me ask you this question. What mistakes
Okay.
do men and women make
Okay.
in relationships to make them fail? So like you can take that anyway, from a woman's perspective, what you think men do. Like I want to know like
I think one of the things that this is just one because there's quite a few. I think one of the things is when you get involved with friendships. So let me give you an example. Say if you know how you're married, of your friends are single. One or two might be a player. One might have a girlfriend. Whatever, this and that. One of the issues I notice in relationship is that because women expect that when they get with their man, I'm not talking about all of y'all, so don't catch an attitude. Some women expect when they get with the man that it's all about them and not about the friends, and they can't be around the friends that are single anymore, right?
okay.
But for me, I don't really feel what does you have to do with them, because obviously if you're in a relationship with me. But those are your friends before you met me, right?
Right. So you can't.
So it's not fair. I think getting involved with causing issues, complaining all the time. Oh, you're going to hang out with Robert. You're going to go chill with Robert. So you can be a hoe with Robert. I mean, I don't think that's fair. And I think that's a big issue in relationships because these guys, your friends, were here before me. Whatever y'all went through all your life, whatever, is a different type of bond than what we have. I don't feel like a woman should ever get involved with it. Even if you and your friend is having an issue, the woman should be the mediator. And that's what I tried to do before when, there was that issue. We can talk about that another time because I need to put that on blast. That's another thing that needs to go on blast. But did you have a point, or can I just put this on blast right now?
You go ahead.
Yeah. So there was a time when you and your best friend had an issue, right? So I loved your best friend like he was my brother. He is so good to me. From the day I met him and you introduced me as your girlfriend, he made me feel.
Oh, he knew you before that.
We were talking, but once. Even before then, once we started talking and I got with you, whatever, he treated me like I was his sister. No, it didn't matter what the situation was. If you're not around, I'm protected. If you needed me, if I needed him for anything, it was like I'm his sister, right?
Right.
You and him had like a little minor, whatever, not really a falling out. Y'all just kind of, had this little distant point. And so I'm so used to seeing him come to the house. There's nothing with us. He has been your friend. I look at him as a brother. He was a good brother, and he's been a good friend to you, right? So when you guys fell out, my thought in process is like, all right, I met these two together. There's a little issue, but he's my brother. I need to make sure he's good. I know you're good because I'm with you. How's my brother doing? I can't just walk away. It's not right, right? And the thing, what y'all were going through wasn't a dire situation.
Right, it wasn't no beef.
It wasn't no beef, right? So I was in the area and I said, let me stop by and see him. I knew he was living with his girl, but I'm his sister, So I said, let me just stop by and make sure he's good.
And she didn't know you, and she'd been out
she
home
knew
and all
me.
that.
So if I'm passing through, right? No.
Right.
So I stopped by the house just to make sure it's good because we haven't heard from him, and I was like, that's my brother. I'm worried.
And you did used to ask about him
all the time, because we're so used to him. So now it's like, oh my God. I need to be the mediator. Right. So I go to see him. I saw the other friend. He was like, hey, Nikki, how you doing? Whatever. He's inside. So I go inside. I'm like, hey, he's so excited to see me. I was like, oh, my God, I just want to make sure you were good. His girl was there. I said hi to her, show her the most respect, right? Because they're living together, or she's staying at his house. Show the most. She comes into the kitchen. And she takes the pot. All of a sudden, she's making porridge or something. She takes the pot and slams it on the stove. So I still don't pay any attention to her, but because I'm like, whatever. And I'm talking to her for a little bit. But then the tension got so... She made a remark. I can't remember what it was. And the tension was so tight that I felt so uncomfortable that I wanted to get out of there. Okay. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I know her. I mean, we weren't like friends because, I was not into her. But, she's your best friend's, kid's mother, so I'm going to show her respect or whatever. But I don't know what happened. I went there out of the goodness out of my heart. I went there because I believed your best friend was like a brother to me, and honestly good to me. So I wanted to check on him, but she made me feel so damn uncomfortable. I could not believe, and I didn't know why. Obviously, I didn't want one. Obviously, I came to make sure it's good. Obviously, I've been around before you were. So my intentions were clear. I was worried. I haven't heard from you. I want to make sure you're good. I know Meech is going through. I said his name. Sorry, you could beep that out, but whatever. He don't care. I know you and Meech is going through something. I just want to make sure you're good, blah, blah, blah. She had the biggest attitude. By time I got home, my good intention turned into such a horrible thing because he calls you. How many times before she came has I passed through? How many times? Different times. There was times I had to drop something off or whatever it was. He asked us to grab. I'll go bring it to him. How many times? All of a sudden she's there. It's an issue. He calls you up and says to you that he didn't think it was right. He didn't appreciate me coming through. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to pass the fruitcake out. I thought I was seeing stars and like everything started going black. My head started spinning. I was such in shock. And his woman was complaining about me coming through. Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that him of all people would call you and say something. It boggled my mind. It after all that, I've been so kind to him, loving. I never complained about your friendship. I never said anything. I've always been like a sister. I treated him like he was family.
He was always trying to mediate it.
Right. I was always trying to make sure I mediate because I knew how much we meant to him. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. But whatever she said to him, made him call you up and say this to me. Until now, you have not apologized to me, and I'm waiting for my apology just in case you're watching the show. Anyway.
He actually has apologized.
No, he didn't apologize to me. He apologized to you, not me.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway, I was so hurt. I couldn't believe that he did something like that to me when I was treated him like he was my sister, and this girl he was my brother, and this girl came into his life and caused so much tension between him, me, you. It was like, and then I didn't want to hang out with her, and because of her ways, you didn't want to be around. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of made everything fall apart, and we had great times and had a great friendship, all three of us. But because of this one person, turned it around to something else. So basically, I knew I heard her say something like, what, you like him? She said something, and I tried to ignore it, but I wasn't sure what the words are. But I knew it was
that
negative.
One little hair right here stressing me out.
Really? Hold on. Where is it?
Right there. You good? All right, keep your point. God. Focus.
Anyway, but I was heartbroken. You get what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like women have an issue. Because I'm a female doesn't mean I want to sleep with your man because I'm cool with them. Right. I don't want to sleep with him. He is a brother. You came in after. Show me some respect. Understand our relationship. Yeah. So when I called you and said that, it threw our entire relationship down the drain because I looked at it as if he should have been like, yo, that's my sister.
I gotta keep bleeping everything.
Yeah, bleep everything. He should have been like, yo, that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. Like, he should have called you up and like, yo, tell Nick I'm sorry. I know she was because she started acting away. And when I was leaving, I heard her say bye. Like, she wanted me to go, and I was just because she was, for me, I was feeling like she was okay with you guys not talking. She kind of maybe had him all to herself. I don't know what it was, but her insecurity and that nagging. Sometimes I think, did she nag him to death? Why he felt like he had to make this decision and call you?
I wondered that too, because to me that wasn't
like him.
No, and that boggled my mind.
I was in complete shock.
Yeah, that was a whole, but for me that's a whole other episode.
Oh well,
so
I was hurt.
I don't want to dive too deep into that on my end, but yeah, but I definitely understood where you was coming from.
Yeah,
it definitely was out of the norm. I did feel like, like the same way you said, like I felt like he allowed her to manipulate
him.
Yes. Because the way he was coming at me, I'm like, yo, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even make sense.
It didn't make sense.
So it's just,
that's the issue. Sorry, not sorry to cut you, but that's the issue, right? That this is what women do, and this is why me seeing it, always knowing that it was wrong, I start to make sure, I start to align my mind, and I think that's why I know that's one of the reasons why we work, because even if you have an issue with someone especially if someone in your family or whatever it is, not that you do, but whatever it is. I'm okay with just listening to you and hearing you out and be like, allowing you to vent. You do the same thing with me so we can have a conversation. You can give me the right advice. I give you the right. That's how I am. I'm not going to have the attitude. I have no attitude with your friends. I don't care what they do. That's between you and them. You stay out of it because they will work it out.
Yeah.
They were there before you, even though I'm the wife. That's your friend. You don't mess with a man's friends. And I feel like that's what she did. She put herself in the middle of a situation, and instead of making it better, like what I was trying to do, she made the whole situation work. And I blame him for it, because our friendship, I thought we had like the best family friendship.
Yeah, I felt like he should have known better, and I felt like he shouldn't allow her to do that.
Yeah,
because whenever you come into a situation like that, the new woman, or whether it's the friend or whoever, they have to be made aware of this situation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure she was, because she was hanging out.
No, she was.
Yeah.
But that's why it confused me even more, why he would allow that type of manipulation.
What was said? What happened? I still would love to know, like, what happened at that time to make him feel like he should call and say, I should never do that again.
Right. So,
and it wasn't the first time I had to do that without her being there.
But here's the thing. In those situations, like, sometimes I've seen this happen before, where women, when they get with a guy, if there's a family member or not really a family member, sometimes family members, but usually if they got a female friends that was around, then there's usually an issue. When this could have been your friend for 10 years.
Yeah.
And now when this guy gets a girlfriend, the girls don't want this other girl around. And it's like, if she was a friend for 10 years.
Right. Why don't you go be her friend then?
Right.
If you were around some chick that you knew for 10 years and y'all were mad cool, never had nothing, all this time, she has her own man or whatever it is.
And they grew up together.
And, you know, she's always around. I'm going to want to be her friend.
Right.
Because she's already been there. She's already seen it. She's already known what's her. She's the one that's going to keep me in the loop of all kind of stuff. So I'm going to make sure I'm her best friend.
Right.
I wasn't in that situation with you. But when I met you, I had a really good friend. And he pulled away, I feel, because he was just not comfortable. He didn't want you to feel.
Or did he have ulterior motives?
We were friends for so long. I think he did.
Because me and the dude, I know what you're talking about. Me and the dude never even met.
No. And I wanted him to meet you. But maybe his heart, I guess he couldn't, like.
I think he had ulterior motives.
Maybe he had liked me. I'm pretty sure he was. But he was so good to me. He was my friend. I never gave him that time. I looked at him as a friend. He might have
had ulterior. He might have felt some way in his mind.
Yeah. And so when he pulled away from me, and I was just like, okay. And then my time got when I realized, and to be really honest, right, when I got with you, it was easier. You became my real best friend. So him pulling away, it got okay for me because you filled all the gaps and beyond. Now he's married and he's happy. I spoke to him like probably last year sometime. He sent pictures, which I didn't look at yet. Sorry. And I think he watches our show. What?
You said he sent pictures and you didn't look at them?
With him and his wife, they went to he doesn't have kids.
Hey,
no, they went on vacation or whatever. I was like, send me your wife. Let me see how she look. I was, but he told me and he's so happy. I'm like, oh, but that's so cute.
That type of thing, right? I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about so let me go back to that. So this is why this is one of my reasons. That was a long reason, but this is one of it. Getting involved with your man's friends in a way that you're causing issues, meaning that you all up in the business. if you don't like them, why? You ever wonder why the girl don't like the friends? Like why a girl gets into a relationship with the guy and all of a sudden they don't like the friend just because they're single, just because they're a player.
Well, that might be. Well, that a lot of times is people's insecurity.
Right.
I think all of that has to do with, on one hand, insecurity, and on the other hand, control. Because it's kind of funny, like I said in the other episode, where I was saying women kind of like to dominate. They like to control. On the flip side, you got men that do the same thing.
Right.
They don't want them around their friends.
Oh my God, I had one of those.
So it's all of that has something to do with their insecurity. They don't want these other people around. Sometimes, and this is just my thought, sometimes I feel like they don't want the other people to be able to see who they really are and what they're about. Because usually your friends and your family are going to be the ones to see stuff before you do.
Yes.
So they'll point like, wait a minute, this ain't right. And then they don't want them to be making you aware of these things. So they try to isolate and keep you away from everybody.
I don't understand. You know what? You're an introvert. So you are who you are. I'm extrovert. I don't know how to say that. But this is just the way you are, you know. But your friends that used to hang out had their own situations. You know, they were players. They did this, whatever, this and that. That wasn't, and this is something I taught myself because that's not what I saw. I always saw people in situations all the time, and I didn't like it. So I was like, okay, what can I do differently? Why? I don't want nobody bothering my friends. So why am I going to bother his? You know. So that's why you notice that you, other than what happened with your this one, I never really had issues with anyone that you were that you were around, right? Because they are who they are. And you know what? To be honest, ladies, I used to hang out with you guys all the time, and your friends spoke about everything in front of me. It was crazy, and I just listened. I laughed. I talked. They asked my opinion. They said this, and I kept it real because that's what men usually do. Men just don't be. I realized that men just don't hang out with each other and be like, oh, I'm gonna talk about. Bleep that part out, please. And all that stuff. So I realized that, and I was like, yo, if my husband said he's gonna go hang out with his friends, it doesn't mean. And so this is the next thing. Let's jump on this real quick. If your man goes to hang out with his friends, you will hear other women in the background sometimes. It doesn't mean that those women are there for your man. Give me that back, please, honey. It doesn't mean that. That's another issue. Every time you call, hey, babe, what's up? Who's that in the background? Oh, you're around a bunch of chicks. I used to hear that all the time, and I said to myself, just like when I go out with my girlfriends, I'm meeting guys because those guys are with them. I have nothing to do with those guys. I meet them, we're cool. That's it, but they're there for them. I laugh with them and that's it. It doesn't mean anything else. And if I call you and you hear men laughing, I'll tell you who it is.
But have I ever one time asked you, yo, who's that?
Never. And if I ever say anything to you, it's only because I was just like, oh my God, there's a lot of something, you know? But I never, and you never did that.
You know what I think it is most of the time is people are insecure.
I think so.
Because here's the thing.
But it's not, I'm sorry to cut you, but it's not even just insecure. They don't self-teach themselves. They don't look, because it's normal for you to have a reaction. Yes, you get that little quick sink because you're human. You get like, you know? But then it's like a pause because it's like, okay, there's no need for, this is life. There's only two type of people in this world, a man, a woman, and a dog.
Listen.
Anyway, what were you saying?
If you think about this.
Because dogs are like humans.
Think about this. If you've hung out with me and my friends.
Three types of humans.
Right? And it's just a general concept. If you hang out, you see how they are, what they're about, how everybody acts, right? And then you hang out with your friends the same way, right? So when you're hanging out with your friends, sometimes there's other guys around. Doesn't mean because those guys are around, you're doing something with them.
No.
So Same thing with the guy. Your guy might be around his friends. There's other women there. How you know that's not somebody's sister?
Right. You don't know.
Whatever. Just because there's a female. But here's the other thing. Just because there's females around.
Yes.
First of all, he's on the phone with you.
Right.
He's not trying to hide the fact that there's females there. So if he was trying to hide.
He answered the phone.
He would have walked off somewhere, not answered the phone.
With everybody in the background making all kind of noise, laughing. He wouldn't have done that.
And here's the thing. If you hear people in the background, that means there's other people there.
Yes.
It might be different if you call him, he's supposed to be home, and then you hear a female in the background.
Well, yeah.
Then it's like, all right, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But you're in a social environment with other people.
Leave that man alone.
So what does those females have to do with him?
Yeah. And don't be calling him either every minute he's out with his friends. When I used to call you, I used to text you and be like, bring back food.
But hold on. So this is the funny thing. I've seen people go to a club or a party.
Oh, I hate that.
And their other one, and it's men and women, both do it. So everybody, both sides is accountable.
Don't be trying to act like y'all innocent.
But hold on. I've seen it where they're at a party and they're like, who's there? Who's that? Yo, I'm at a party. There's a lot of people. I probably don't even know half these people.
No.
So unless you expected your man to go to a gay bar or your woman to go to a gay bar or all-women situation, there's going to be other sex around.
There's only 3
Wait.
humans.
Stop. So listen, here's the other thing that always makes me laugh, right? Why are you asking who's there? If I sit there and name names,
that's crazy.
You don't know none of these people.
Yeah, that's...
What are you even asking that question for?
Yes.
Who's there? Who's that? You're not
Who's
here.
That
you
talking?
Don't know them.
Who's that laughing?
I might not even know them. Why are you even asking?
It just... and
wait, what you should say is, who is each of those women voices that I hear, and who are they with? Why are they there? That's really what they want to ask.
Yeah, that's what they want to say.
But then it's like, I'm at a party.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I got to talk real quick about my ex. Oh, my God. I remember one time I was going out, right? And we used to live together. God, I regret those times. But I was going out with my girls,
this hair is killing me.
Oh, my God.
You got it.
Fixed it. God, just...
Nah, it's hanging. You see it?
No.
Oh, come here. Stop moving.
Don't pull it.
All right, you got it now. It's just...
God.
It was like the Lone Ranger just doing his own
Elvis. Looked a little tail. Anyway, so I was going out with my girlfriends, and he is home, and I'm getting dressed, and this mother turkey turned to me and said, oh, you're going out? So what am I supposed to do?
Jerk off. Watch porn.
He was like, if you're going out, what am I supposed to do? I was just like,
what? From hiding in
no,
trunk.
but listen, I said to him, you don't got no friends? I was like, call up your boys and go out. I'm going out with my girlfriend. Oh, this is how you want to live? You just want to be with a bunch of whores and you just want to do what? That's You're crazy. Telling me I can't go out because you don't have plans, but when he went out, he would complain that I didn't complain. Oh, you don't care that I'm going out with my boys. You don't care about nothing. You never say nothing. I used to be so confused.
That's
like,
nuts.
What am I supposed to do if you're going out with your friends? What do you want to do? But what he did was I don't know what he used to tell his friends, but I think he made it seem like I didn't want him to go anywhere. So I remember one time I overheard his friend say, don't bring sand to the beach. And I said to myself,
say that all the time.
Yeah, but I was confused because I never wanted to go to the beach anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I never asked to go with him and his friends because they just didn't interest me. And I just wasn't interested. But I'm going out and this dude was serious. It turned into a big argument to the point that I just walked out and bounced. And when I came back, things were all over the place. It was just this whole drama, but I don't understand.
He had a tantrum?
He threw a tantrum. And then he kept on calling my phone. I'm in the club. I can't hear. I that time the phones went all this text and selfie and all that shit to say, oh, I'm with my girls, look.
Yeah.
And he's blowing up my phone back I never did that to him. And he's blowing up my phone back to back to back. So finally I answered it and I can't hear. So I have the phone to my ear, my finger holding here, and I'm like, hello, go to someplace quiet. My song is on.
I'm in a club.
I'm in a club. Can I call you when I get out? And I'm like, what? What is wrong with him? And when he goes out, when he was going out with his boys and come home, oh, you couldn't call to check to make sure I'm good. What?
Like, yo, if you got shot, the ER would have called and notified me to come see you.
Oh my God. So I don't like that even when women do that to men. Yeah. It's not right. You guys you're adults. You're adults. I'm not gonna breastfeed. No, there's no milk. But we're adults. There's no reason for you to have to get on your man or your woman because they have a life outside of you.
Yeah. Do you think that was a product of him possibly seeing that type of behavior and thinking that was the normal way things are supposed to operate?
It might have been. I also think he was a sensitive punk. Mm-hmm. But it might have been. I don't know. But he's not the first person that I've been with that kind of behaved that way. And I used to have issues all the time in my relationships. That's stuff I got with you because you were just a manly and stuff.
But no, go ahead.
But one of the things was the fact that I wasn't stressing certain things as much made it seem like I don't care. And it wasn't that. I was just looking at you as your own person because I don't want you to interrupt my fun. Right.
That's probably see that I think a lot of it, we understand each other because we're the same sign. Oh. So we have a lot of the same traits. So cute. We understand each other, whereas somebody else might not understand the way we are.
That's why they hated me. I got cursed off all the time by them.
But see, some of that stuff you were saying though, to me it sounded a little feminine because
he was a biatch.
Some of that behavior is what I'm used to hearing women do and say.
Yes.
Like women have said, you don't care what I'm doing. Why you not calling me? Stuff like that. It's like, yo, you're out. Like, I'm not trying to stress you. Like,
yo, I'd be like, babe, I reach. You'd be like, good, you're cool. You're more like, just let me know when you get there. Right. Make sure you're good.
So let me say this too, because this is another thing, right? Mm-hmm. There's been times where you'll hit me up and like, yo, there's a problem, this and that. And even that, I'm like, yo, you have the car. Don't tell me none of that. There's nothing I can do. There's no way I can help you.
It wouldn't be me that have the problem. It'd be somebody else.
But listen, but you're saying there's a problem there.
Yeah.
My thing is, leave.
Yeah.
What you telling me for? Well, I'm supposed to jump in a cab and, don't tell me that don't tell me none of that. If there's an issue, leave.
That was so long ago.
No, but I'm saying it's still like, why?
I get it. I get it. I think what happened to women is that we just want to, I don't think in our mind that we're thinking that you're going to come and get us. I think it's more like we want you to know that there's an issue. Because I never say, babe, you need to come over here.
Yeah, but I'm still saying like, again, understanding men.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be telling a man that.
Well, now I understand that. But I don't think a lot of people understand how the way men think. They go into battle mode once something affects someone that they love. It doesn't matter who it is. So now I get it. So woman, if you don't get it, now you get it because he said it. You know what I'm saying?
Even in that situation, I'm like, all right, I can't. There's no way I can help you. So I'm not even in like that type of mode where I'm like, all right, it's I'm just like,
come home, bring your ass home.
Like if you're still there an hour later, and you still talking about there's about to be a problem. Yeah, I'm looking at you like you dumb. Like, so why you there?
It's true.
Like,
oh, that's sensible. That's really smart.
Like, why are you telling me? And
get
the hell out of there.
I always tell you how smart you are.
I try. Thank you.
Yeah, you're pretty good. But I mean, when it comes to women. For me, we can go on and on about this topic of why we behave this way and why we do these things and the number one thing, but that's my number one. That's not number one, but that's one of the things. I have more, but that's one of the things. The reason why you guys should listen to us at all times is because we are the experts. And it's not easy to find people like us in the world that are so expertise in expertism. You get what I'm saying? So you make sure you like, you share, you comment, you DM, you do all kind of stuff, because I promise you, when I tell you that we can expertation your expectations of expertness.
Man, you need to learn a lesson and don't be one of them dumb motherfuckers.